It's Monday, May 20th, 2024, and I'm Dave Sobel. 3 things to note today. Small business job gains highlights the opportunity amid an economic cooldown and tech talent shortages. Nebraska passes a Personal Privacy Protection Act, and professional services expansion on the rise. 85% of organizations to increase teams in 2024. This is the Business of Tech. Welcome to a new week. Let's look at market data. According to the April ADP National Employment Report, small businesses gained 38,000 jobs nationally. Most job gains were in the South, and the leisure and hospitality industries saw an increase of 56,000 jobs. However, the information sector experienced a decrease of 4,000 jobs, possibly due to a skills mismatch and the impact of AI and automation. Pay gains for job changers also slowed in April. The April Consumer Price Index showed a cooldown in inflation, reducing fears of re-acceleration. In the 12 months through April, CPI rose 3.4%, a smaller gain than the 3.5% prior month, quoting Axios. Core CPI, which excludes energy and food costs, rose 3.6% compared to 3.8% in March. Over the last 3 months, core CPI rose at an annualized rate of 4.1%. That's down from 4.5% in March, still higher than that seen throughout the latter half of 2023 and far above the levels consistent with the Fed's 2% inflation target. End quote. Retail sales in the U.S. were flat in April, with the core control group actually falling by 0.3%. It suggests a cooling economy and potential pullback in consumer spending, which aligns with the Fed's desire to ease policy. Canalys found that global cloud spending increased by 21% in Q1, with AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud accounting for 66% of total spending. The market is being driven by the convergence of AI and cloud, with customers focusing on AI integration and long-term commitments with hyperscalers. AI is also causing customers to reevaluate their technology stacks, presenting opportunities for the channel. According to a report by Microsoft, sluggish adoption of AI in the UK could cost that economy £150 billion by 2035. However, prompt investment in digital technologies and skills could lead to an average societal ROI of more than 5 to 1 by 2025. The report identifies infrastructure issues, a lack of commercial awareness, and a shortage of skilled staff as key bottlenecks. Microsoft believes that strategic use of AI in the public sector could save £17 billion by 2035. According to IDC market research, tech talent shortages will cost organizations $5.5 trillion by 2026, resulting in product delays, inability to compete, and loss of business. Skills gaps in IT operations, cloud architecture, data management, and software development have caused digital transformation delays for 2/3 of organizations. However, generative AI capabilities are helping to fill some of those gaps. IDC expects 9 in 10 organizations to be affected by talent shortages by 2026. And while I'm on employment, the childcare industry in the U.S. is facing a crisis. More centers closing, tuition rising, and staffing shortages. Census data shows the share of families without access to childcare has increased since the pandemic-era federal funding ran out. However, states that provided additional funding saw a smaller increase in the number of parents without childcare. As we look at the markets, the Russell 2000, that proxy for small businesses, is up from last week, specifically a jump on May 15th. The S&P 600, which looks at the smallest companies, is roughly even, having seen the same spike, the slow cooling after. Why do we care? Small businesses saw job gains, particularly in the South and leisure industries, while the information sector faces challenges due to impacts from AI and automation. Despite a cooling economy and tech talent shortages, opportunities do exist for providers in AI integration, cloud spending, and addressing skills gaps to drive client growth and ROI. So for IT service providers, I want to highlight certain basics. Address skills mismatches, particularly in AI and automation. Emphasize the value and return on investment of IT services to clients. Capitalize on increased cloud spending and AI integration opportunities. And consider you may need to invest more in building talent than expecting it to walk in the front door. Finally, owners have the opportunity to help with childcare. I've covered this before and how it often breaks even or helps generate productivity when owners do so. Nebraska lawmakers have unanimously passed the Personal Privacy Protection Act, implementing a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that protects Americans' right to privacy when supporting nonprofit causes. The law prohibits state officials from demanding or exposing personal information and donation records to nonprofits, ensuring citizens can give safely and privately. The law was supported by bipartisan legislation and various nonprofit groups. The U.S. Department of State has expanded its list of security vendors beyond Microsoft following that major hacking incident last year. The breach, which compromised tens of thousands of State Department emails, led to criticism of Microsoft's network security. The department now works with multiple vendors, including Palo Alto, Zscaler, and Cisco, and has implemented various security measures to prevent future breaches. Why do we care? Well, another state with a privacy law. Interestingly, Microsoft's security struggles have opened the door for competitors. Companies providing cybersecurity services might find new opportunities to partner with government agencies, emphasizing the need for strong, reliable, and adaptive security measures. Is this an early sign the tides are changing on security? Slightly? A recent survey of 1,005 IT professionals conducted by Certinia found that 81% of organizations are investing in AI primarily to increase efficiency, while 69% aim to enhance service quality and 66% seek to improve profitability. The survey also identified that 54% of respondents view AI adoption and navigating significant economic change as the top external challenges they'll face in the next 12 months. Other challenges including rising labor costs and increased competition, both at 49%. To overcome these hurdles, 61% of participants plan to rely more on AI, 60% aim to increase skill sets, and 57% intend to manage services more efficiently. Internally, the top challenges cited were improving productivity at 58%, increasing profitability 48%, and balancing workloads 46%. Furthermore, 85% of respondents indicated their organization's intention to expand their professional services teams in 2024, with approximately 50% expecting a more than 10% increase in headcount. Almost every respondent at 99% expects their professional services to contribute significantly towards achieving key business objectives, with 63% recognizing professional services as a profit center for their organization. Why do we care? This is dense data and points to providers' embrace of the technology around AI. What I want to focus on is the expansion of professional services. Often, emerging IT providers and MSPs concentrate only on recurring revenue, frequently fueled by the marketing message of many vendors. Now, that said, most best-in-class providers have very healthy professional services businesses, which also often has the considered bad word consulting attached. Consulting is a valuable, critical part of the business. Right now, AI advice is needed, as the data shows. With as many breaches and security concerns as I report in this show, it should be obvious that cybersecurity is not just about technology, but also the human expertise needed to interpret and respond to complex threats. Huntress is focused on elevating SMBs and MSPs around the world. Huntress has a suite of fully managed cybersecurity solutions powered by a 24/7 human-led SOC, dedicated to continuous monitoring, expert investigation, and rapid response. And the proof is the execution. Huntress is the #1 rated EDR for SMBs on G2. Want to know more about the platform? Visit huntress.com/MSP Radio to learn more. Thanks for listening. Today is National Rescue Dog Day, so shout out to the pups. Microsoft Build 2024 is later this week and is expected to focus on AI advancements and new Surface hardware, including the introduction of Qualcomm's ARM-based Snapdragon X Elite chip. I'll report back when we know what's happened. Have a question you want answered? Take those listener questions, send them in, ideally as a voice memo or video, to question@mspradio.com. I answer listener questions live each week on the Wednesday live show on YouTube and LinkedIn. This week, 3 p.m. Eastern. I will talk to you again tomorrow. The Business of Tech is written and produced by me, Dave Sobel, under ethics guidelines posted at businessof.tech. If you like the content, please make sure to hit that like button, follow, or subscribe. It's free and easy and the best way to support the show and help us grow. You can also check out our Patreon, where you can join the Business of Tech community at patreon.com/MSP Radio, or buy our Why Do We Care merch at businessof.tech. Finally, if you're interested in advertising on the show, visit mspradio.com/engage. Once again, thanks for listening to me, and I will talk to you again on our next episode of The Business of Tech.
Part of the MSP Radio Network.